up with it, man? What's good, YouTube, man? Today, I'm gonna be telling y'all a story about how I got pinched up at the weigh station, man. And also to be telling y'all how these weigh stations is more serious than getting pulled over by the FBI, man. That's how my experience went, man. But let me get into it, man. It was a time where I was over the road at a over-the-road job out of Chicago or whatever. So I used to really be ripping and running, man. I'm telling y'all, I used to be ripping and running, no lie. And I was on paper logs at this time, so this is gonna be like a 2-in-1 for y'all, man. It's gonna be a 2-in-1. I was ripping and running. I had just jumped over the road or whatever, so the job told me we was on paper logs. And mind you, my stories that I give out is my experience when I was over the road for like when I first had my CDL for like the first 2 years. And like a year and a half of that 2 years, I was over the road, state to state, going wherever they sent me, you know? So, with that being said, I was really over the road, really moving. And this was one of those companies where there wasn't no taxes taken out. So, whatever I make is whatever I was really making. So, let me get into it. I just used to be running from wherever I was at, 700 miles, 600 miles, 500 miles, doing the paper log for the first day. So when the second and third day came, I really didn't know how to, finagle the logs. That's one thing I didn't know how to do. I did not know how to finagle the logs and make them accurate and up to date. So I was running. I was really thinking about that money. So I'm just telling y'all, like, this is experience where if y'all fresh out of school or y'all still in school right now, get the experience on, well, it ain't really no more paper logs as of right now. To let that be known to all my upcoming drivers. Ain't no more paper logs. Everything is, computerized with the Qualcomm that's in your truck. But if, you do run into a problem where your Qualcomm ain't working, and you gotta work them paper logs for a couple days, get that experience in and, learn how to do that. Cause when I was in school, I just knew how to do the basics. I didn't really know how to finagle them and make it look like, say I've been running since Monday and today we now at Wednesday. I didn't know how to make it look like, I've been running since Wednesday. Till Wednesday. I only know how to make it look like I've been running for only one day. So each day I would really start the logs over. For my real truckers out there, y'all know what I'm saying. But long story short, I was running. My mans would tell me like, yo, you ain't do your paper logs? I'd be like, nah, bruh. I'm trying to get this delivery done. He'd tell me like, yo, you need to sit down and really figure out how to do them paper logs. I'm like, man, listen, I'm trying to get this money. I'll handle that when I get there. You get what I'm saying? That was always my line. I handle it when I get there. Basically, I handle it when it come to time I gotta handle it. I'm ripping. One day, and then also at this time, same time, I was never scaling the load. I would get the long paper loads, the paper roll loads. I would get the heavy water loads. The most heavy loads you could think of, man. I was on it. I was really getting it. And I would just be running. So this is a 2-in-1, like I said, man. Scale your load. And if you ever get caught up where your Qualcomm ain't working, learn them paper logs while you can, because when it come too late, they get you. So I'm running. And one day I'm in West Virginia. I believe it's like one of the worst states. Virginia, West Virginia, them the worst states to drive through. I hate it. I hate it. Honestly, I hate it. So, boom. I get pinched up at a weigh station. My load ain't scaled. You feel me? And they told me, they If your junk ain't scaled, the first time they'll tell you, yo, pull in, adjust your weight on whatever tandem it need to be adjusted on, and come back through, roll back through. Hopefully you got it right. So with that being said, I didn't know what I was doing. So I played like I knew I was doing, came back through the scale for the second time, and they told me like, yo, your junk ain't right. Pull in the lot, park up, set your brakes, and bring in all your paperwork. So I did that. I'm not thinking nothing of it. They like, yo, your weight is overweight. I think I was at like 83,000. They're like, man, you can't even adjust that. You overweight. You can't. There's no way of fixing that. So they told me, bring in my logbook. Bring in my logs. So I bring in my logs, and my logs, bro, long story short, was jacked up. Nothing was correct. They already knew what was up. They put me out of service, man. They put me out of service, and I think they did a level 3 inspection on my truck and trailer. Level 3 inspection on my truck and trailer. So with that being said, I was only at this job for probably 6 months. Running. Not caring about nothing. So they did the level 3 inspection. I failed that. My logs wasn't correct. My weight, my scale, when I went through the scale, my load wasn't weighing how it probably was because I was overweight. What I should have did was get the load, scale it, and if it wasn't, go to the nearest scale after I got loaded up, and if it wasn't weighed properly, bring it back to the distribution center so they could take some of the whatever pallets off, take a couple pallets off. I ain't do that. I was just so money hungry where I just took the load and I just bounced, started to my destination. But this time I got caught up over there in West Virginia at a scaling site. They put me out of service, man, for 24 hours. They put me out of service. So it's like, yo, when you get these loads, if you're trying to become a truck driver, make sure you scaling your loads. If you don't know how to scale your load, somebody at a weigh station will tell you how to do it. No, somebody at a truck stop will help you. Trust me. They helped me out about 4 years later. I knew how to do it between the 4 years, but like when the 4-year mark came, I really knew how to do it because I took my time with it, and some people helped me out. So if you don't know how to scale and you at a truck stop, ask anybody. They will help you. Believe me, they'll help you, man. And with your logs, really sit down and learn how to play with them log books, because if you don't know how to add up the hours at the end of the week or the end of the day, that can be your behind, man. So my story to new truck drivers, man, just tap in with me. Any questions, drop it down below. Any comments, drop it down below. But man, y'all new truck drivers that's looking into it, man, trying to get your CDL, it could get real ugly out here, man. If you ain't scaling your loads and you don't know how to log your logs correctly day by day, trust and believe me, this is all from experience, man. Anything I'm teaching y'all is from experience, man. So, you know, that's just a story about how I got put out of service at a new job I was at. The job told me to come to the job. They was about to switch my truck, and what they did was they fired me because I was new, and that added too many points to their whatever score, whatever job score it was. I was too fresh in the game. They fired me because I added too many points to their score from the level 3 inspection that I got. So just a heads up, man. Make sure y'all scaling. If you don't know how to scale, get some help, man. It's not hard, man. It's not hard. But you know, tap in with me. All stories, man. I got them, man. Tap in with me. Make sure y'all be safe out there, man.